Hey, beautiful Libra souls. I hope you're doing well today. I've been sitting here with my cards for a while now, and I have to say, the energy I'm picking up for you is quite intense. We're diving into topic number 44 today, which is about loving someone with dangerous tendencies, particularly suicidal tendencies. And I want you to know that whatever comes through in this reading, please take care of yourself first. I've shuffled the deck multiple times, and the cards that keep calling out to me for you are really speaking to this complex situation that many of you might be facing or will face in the future. Before we begin, I want to remind you that if you're currently in a situation where someone you love is struggling with these thoughts, please encourage them to seek professional help. Your love is powerful, but some battles require professional support. Let me start by pulling the first card, and oh my goodness, we have the Seven of Wands. This card immediately tells me that you're going to be in a position where you're fighting for someone you love, but this fight is going to be exhausting. The Seven of Wands represents defending your ground, standing up against opposition. But in this context, I'm seeing you standing up against the darkness that's consuming someone you deeply care about. The person you'll love or currently love has this internal battle that's so fierce, and you're going to find yourself becoming their warrior, their protector. But Libra, this card is warning you about the toll this will take on you. You're naturally someone who seeks balance and harmony, and being with someone who's constantly fighting internal demons is going to shake your entire world. This card shows me that you'll be defending your relationship against people who tell you to walk away, against family members who don't understand why you're staying with someone who's struggling so deeply. But what the Seven of Wands is really showing me is that you'll be defending this person against themselves. And that's the hardest battle of all. I'm seeing late-night conversations where you're talking them through dark moments where you become their lifeline, their reason to stay. But the Seven of Wands also warns that you can't fight someone else's battles forever. You'll reach a point where you realize that all your love, all your fighting, can only do so much if they're not willing to fight for themselves too. The second card that's coming through strongly is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is interesting because this card usually represents independence, self-sufficiency, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. But in this context, I'm seeing something different. I'm seeing you achieving a level of emotional and spiritual independence through this challenging relationship. The Nine of Pentacles is telling me that through loving someone with suicidal tendencies, you're going to discover strengths within yourself that you never knew existed. You'll become incredibly self-reliant, not by choice, but by necessity. Because when someone you love is battling such darkness, you'll often find yourself holding down everything else in your life. This card is showing me that you'll develop an almost supernatural ability to remain calm in crisis situations, to think clearly when everything feels chaotic. The Nine of Pentacles suggests that you'll become the stable force, the grounded energy that this person desperately needs, but it's also warning you about the isolation this might bring. You might find yourself distancing from friends who don't understand, from family who judge your choices, and in some ways, you'll be walking this path alone. But the Nine of Pentacles promises that this experience will transform you into someone incredibly resilient and wise. You'll gain insights into human psychology, into the depths of pain that people can carry, and this knowledge will serve you in ways you can't imagine right now. The third card, and this one made my heart skip a beat, is the Ace of Cups. Now, you might think this is a positive card, and in many ways it is, but in this reading, it's showing me the pure, overwhelming love you'll feel for this person. The Ace of Cups represents new emotional beginnings, the birth of deep feelings, but it's also showing me that your love for this person will be unlike anything you've ever experienced. This isn't going to be a casual romance, Libra. The Ace of Cups is telling me that when you meet this person, or if you're already with them, there's going to be this instant recognition, this feeling that you've found someone who needs your love more than anyone has ever needed it before. But here's what the Ace of Cups is warning about. This love will consume you. You'll find yourself loving them so deeply that their pain becomes your pain, their darkness starts to seep into your bright Libra energy. The Ace of Cups shows me that you'll be willing to pour everything you have into this person, to give them every ounce of love and healing energy you possess, but it's also asking you to remember that you can't love someone back to life if they don't want to live. This card is beautiful and tragic at the same time because it's showing me that your love will be a lifeline for this person, possibly the only thing keeping them here during their darkest moments, but it's also going to exhaust your emotional reserves in ways you've never experienced. The fourth card pulling through is the Seven of Swords, and honestly, this card is making me a bit uncomfortable because it usually represents deception, theft, or getting away with something. In this context, I'm seeing that the person you'll love might not be completely honest with you about the extent of their struggles. The Seven of Swords is showing me scenarios where they might hide their worst moments from you, where they smile and pretend everything is fine when inside they're falling apart. They might steal away in the middle of the night when the thoughts become too overwhelming, and you'll wake up wondering where they are, if they're safe. This card is also showing me that they might steal your peace of mind, not intentionally, but their condition will make it impossible for you to fully relax. You'll find yourself constantly checking on them, constantly worried, constantly trying to read between the lines of their words and actions. But the Seven of Swords has another layer. It's showing me that society might judge you for staying with someone like this. People might think you're crazy for loving someone who battles such darkness, and in some ways, you might feel like you're stealing moments of happiness that you're not sure you deserve when someone you love is suffering so much. The fifth card, and this one is incredibly significant, is the Nine of Swords. This is traditionally the card of nightmares, anxiety, and mental anguish, and in your reading, it's representing not just what your person is going through, but what you'll experience as their partner. The Nine of Swords is showing me sleepless nights where you're lying awake wondering if they're okay, wondering if today will be the day you get that phone call you're terrified of receiving. This card represents the anxiety that will become your constant companion when you love someone who battles suicidal thoughts. I'm seeing you developing hypervigilance, becoming incredibly attuned to their moods, their energy shifts, their subtle changes in behavior. The Nine of Swords shows me that you'll become an expert at reading the signs, at knowing when they're having a particularly difficult day, at sensing when the darkness is winning. This card is also showing me that you might start having your own nightmares, your own anxiety attacks, because when you love someone this deeply who's in this much pain, their mental state affects yours more than you realize. You'll find yourself Googling symptoms at 3 a.m., researching everything you can about mental health, trying to understand what they're going through so you can help them better. But the Nine of Swords also has a message of hope. It's telling me that through this experience, you'll develop an incredible empathy and understanding for mental health struggles. You'll become someone who can truly understand and help others who are going through similar situations. The sixth card coming through is the Hanged Man, and this card is so appropriate for this reading because it represents suspension, sacrifice, and seeing things from a different perspective. The Hanged Man is showing me that loving someone with suicidal tendencies will completely change your perspective on life, love, and what really matters. This card represents the sacrifices you'll make, social events you'll skip because they're having a bad day, career opportunities you might pass up because you don't want to be too far away from them, dreams you might put on hold because their healing becomes your priority. The Hanged Man shows willing sacrifice, and that's exactly what this will be. But here's what the Hanged Man is really teaching you. Sometimes love means letting go. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and allow someone to find their own way to healing. This card is showing me that there will come a moment when you realize that all your sacrifice, all your devotion, won't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. The Hanged Man represents a period of suspension where you'll feel stuck, unsure of what to do, how to help, whether to stay or go. But it's in this suspended state that you'll gain the wisdom and perspective you need to handle this situation in the way that's best for both of you. The seventh card, and this one surprised me, is the Two of Pentacles. This card is all about balance, juggling multiple responsibilities, and adapting to change. For you, Libra, this card is showing me that you'll become a master at balancing the needs of this relationship with the needs of your own life. The Two of Pentacles shows me that you'll learn to juggle crisis management with daily life, emotional support with your own self-care, hope with realistic expectations. You'll become incredibly adaptable, able to shift from normal life to crisis mode at a moment's notice. This card is also showing me financial considerations, therapy costs, medication expenses, possibly supporting someone who's unable to work consistently due to their mental health struggles. The Two of Pentacles suggests you'll find ways to make it work, but it won't be easy. But here's what this card is really highlighting: the constant balancing act between giving enough support and maintaining your own stability. You'll be walking a tightrope, trying to be there for them without losing yourself in the process. The eighth card pulling through strongly is the Hermit, and this card represents inner guidance, soul-searching, and finding wisdom in solitude. The Hermit is showing me that both you and this person will need periods of solitude to process everything you're going through. For them, the Hermit might represent withdrawal from the world during their darkest moments, times when they need to go inward to find their own light. For you, it represents the moments when you'll need to step back and reconnect with your own inner wisdom about what you can and cannot do in this situation. The Hermit is guiding you to trust your intuition about when to hold on and when to let go, when to push for professional help, and when to simply be present. This card is showing me that you'll develop an incredible inner compass through this experience, an ability to navigate emotional darkness that will serve you for the rest of your life. This card also represents the spiritual journey you'll go on through loving someone who battles such demons. You'll question everything: your beliefs about love, about life, about your purpose. The Hermit promises that through this questioning, you'll find your own inner light burning brighter than ever before. The ninth card, and we're almost at the end of this intense journey, is the King of Pentacles. This card represents mastery, security, and generous leadership, and in your reading, it's showing me the person you'll become through this experience. The King of Pentacles tells me that you'll develop an incredible maturity and wisdom about human nature and the complexities of mental health. You'll become someone others turn to for advice about difficult relationship situations, someone who can offer practical guidance mixed with deep compassion. This card is also showing me potential financial stability that comes from the career changes this experience might inspire. Many people who go through what you're going through become counselors, therapists, social workers, or advocates for mental health. The King of Pentacles suggests that your pain will transform into purpose in a very tangible way. But most importantly, this card is showing me the emotional mastery you'll achieve. You'll become someone who can hold space for incredible pain without being consumed by it. Someone who can love deeply without losing yourself completely. The final card, the 10th and most significant card in this reading, is Ace of Pentacles. This card represents new beginnings, opportunities, and material manifestations. And in this context, it's showing me that this relationship, despite all its challenges, will plant seeds for incredible growth in your life. The Ace of Pentacles is promising that through this experience, new opportunities will manifest, possibly in the mental health field, possibly in writing or speaking about your experiences, possibly in developing resources or support systems for others in similar situations. Your pain will become a source of abundance, not just for you, but for others who need what you'll have learned. This card is also showing me that if this person chooses healing, if they choose to fight for their life with the same intensity they've been fighting against it, the relationship that emerges will be incredibly solid and real. The Ace of Pentacles represents something tangible and lasting being built from the ashes of struggle. But even if the relationship doesn't survive, even if this person chooses a different path, the Ace of Pentacles promises that the seeds of wisdom, compassion, and strength that are planted through this experience will grow into something beautiful and valuable in your life. Let me take a moment to summarize the cards that came through for you today, because this has been such an intense and important reading. We had the Seven of Wands showing the battles you'll fight, the Nine of Pentacles revealing the independence you'll develop, the Ace of Cups representing the overwhelming love you'll feel, the Seven of Swords warning about hidden struggles and deception, the Nine of Swords showing the anxiety and sleepless nights, the Hanged Man representing sacrifice and changed perspective, the Two of Pentacles highlighting the constant balancing act, the Hermit guiding you to inner wisdom, the King of Pentacles showing the mastery you'll achieve, and finally the Ace of Pentacles, promising new beginnings and opportunities. Cards drawn: Seven of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Seven of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Hanged Man, Two of Pentacles, the Hermit King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful Libras, if you're currently in this situation or heading toward it, please remember that loving someone with suicidal tendencies requires you to love yourself just as fiercely. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Your love is a gift, but it's not a cure. Professional help, therapy, medication, support groups. These are tools that work alongside love, not substitutes for it. Take care of yourselves, seek support when you need it, and remember that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is set boundaries that protect your own mental health while still offering support.